Hi. Welcome to my weekly World of Tanks review. This week it is heavy metal weekend. Yeah. And heavy metal being tier 7 and below, heavy tanks being on. Actually, all the tier 7 heavy tanks are 30% off this weekend, right? Yeah, credit discount. And then also, this tank, the T14, the Incredicrap, is half off. I shouldn't say that. It's actually not bad. And we're going to spend most of our time looking at this tank, but we will run a couple battles in two of the other ones that I have. And I also recently did a review of the AMX 1945, MLE whatever, or I'm sorry, the M4 MLE 45. Yeah, 1945. That's the tier 8, I'm sorry, tier 7 heavy tank for the French. And that's actually, I miss it. I ended up selling it when I got the 5100 here. And as you can see, I got the 5100, I've got the FCM 50T, and then I also have the ARL 44. But I needed garage slots, and I really decided I wanted to put the crew from the AMX over here. And of course, the one guy's, they're all in here now, but he's still AMX 45 because there's only a 4-man crew. There's no loader in the auto loader tanks, obviously. And I kind of missed that tank because it actually was my favorite, believe it or not. And people give it a bad rap, but it was actually a great tank. The 1945 M4 has the same 90 millimeter gun that the FCM 50T has, that you use through part of the AMX 5100 grind, and also the ARL 44 has it. But it's pretty fast firing at tier 7, and so you could do a lot of damage with that gun. And even though the tank was soft, it was pretty fast moving. It was kind of like a really big medium. So I will go ahead and post a link to the review of that tank so that you can see it. Tonight we're going to take a look at, like I said, the T14, the T29, and the IS. And this IS is very similar to the IS-2, so you can pretty much take what I tell you about this tank and apply it to the Chinese IS-2. They're very similar. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Okay, the T14 is a unique tank. It is definitely not overpowered. In fact, it's definitely not even really that great. But it does the job. The first thing I'm going to point out is that it's only going to be, let's take a look at the price here. I believe it's whoa, maybe it was more. Let's take a look in the tech tree. I was thinking it was going to be 750, but it might be more. Of course. Yeah, it'll be 750. There you go. So that's not bad. That really is not bad, for a premium tier 5 heavy tank. Now, the first issue that I'm going to point out is this. I want you to look at this crew. The crew has how many members? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's look at the T29. Oh, there's 6 crew members. And in fact, let's look at the tech tree again, and let's look at the T1 heavy tank, because the Americans only have this heavy line here, the T1 heavy. Let's look at the crew. Now this is a weird one. This will throw you off even more. It has 2 gunners. So you got commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, loader. And then the M6, same thing. Gunner. So one would assume that the T14 would be best used to train the crews for the M6 and the T1 heavy. However, you're missing a second gunner. And if you move on up to the T32 and the T29, you're going to run into the same issue, except for it's going to be, as I said before from the garage, it's going to be in the loaders. So you're short a position for the loader because it only carries 5. Why did they do that? Well, because they want you to buy this. They want you to buy the premium T34. There you go. Loader. He's going to be a good trainer for your T32. I believe the M103, the T29, they all have that loader. Yeah. He even loses a crew member. Look, no radio operator in the M103. But this guy is going to be the best trainer for these higher tier tanks. However, I don't have that, and I don't want to spend 12,000 gold on it. I can't afford it right now. He's talking about can't afford it. I've got 16,000 gold, but I definitely want to continue my premium time. As you can see, my account ran out. And I need to buy about 10 garage slots. I'm waiting till there's a sale on garage slots, and I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to sell a couple tanks because I'm out of room. And they really are. It's been a long time. It's been almost, I want to say, 4 months or 3 months since they've had a garage lot sale. So I filled up and I'm out of spaces. But I love all my tanks. I don't want to sell any of them. So I'm probably going to have to sell some of the lower tier ones that I love, like the SU-76 and the Electo and the Hetzer, and save those crews, but get rid of the tanks themselves. So anyway, back on topic. This is one of the issues of this tank. You cannot train a full crew in this tank for any of the American heavy tanks. And that was a bizarre choice. Aside from, I know they're trying to keep it historical. So one of the reasons that they did that probably is because the real tank, even if it wasn't a real tank, if it was just a development tank, only had a 5-man crew, so they went with that. So anyway, the T14 has a strange armor layout. It has decent turret armor at 101 all the way around. So that pretty much knocks a lot of the tier 4 and tier 5 tanks out from being able to penetrate this. Now there are spots, obviously there's weak spots that you can penetrate. Usually like around here it gets penetrated, but it's got fairly decent armor in general on the turret. Obviously the back is going to be weak here. But the front and sides, look at that. 50, 50, 50. What? That's like tier 4, maybe tier 3 armor. However, look at it again. Look closely at the tank. I mean, it's really angled. So really, the back, which is flat, is going to be susceptible to all kinds of fire. But the sides and the front do bounce most shots fairly easily. Now you will get penned, but you're going to bounce a lot of shots too because of the angling. And this, I believe they count this as spaced armor, so it protects the tracks a little bit and also protects the inside of the tank. So you'll have shots go through here, but it'll just slow the shot down enough that it won't damage you. So that's a help when you're getting into trouble. However, because of that soft hull, I would play it like you would any of the bigger American heavy tanks. You're going to play hull down. And that's really, actually, when you think about it, even the American medium tanks like the M4, they have a good turret, but they have kind of a soft body. So you keep this part underground or in a divot, and you only expose your turret. And that will, I apologize, I have a cold, so if you hear me breaking up a lot, it's because I'm sniffing and sneezing. Keeping it hull down will keep that tank protected. You don't want to, and that's something I want to tell you about this tank. It's slow moving. It's a heavy tank. It does not turn well. It's got, look at the traverse speed. It's going to be 20. That's miserable. And a 26 of the turret traverse. So that's miserable too. So it's kind of a miserable, sluggish, slow experience driving this tank. It is not a fast moving tank at all. So what I would recommend is don't put yourself in a position where you are out in an open field, because you're not going to make it across before starting to attract attention. It's a heavy tank. It does not have great camo. People are going to see you. So what ends up happening is if you go out in the field, you're not going to make it across in time, and you're going to start getting picked off. And that angled armor is not going to help you from tanks shooting you from all over the place. It only helps when you're in a situation where you can control where they're hitting. And obviously angling like this is a big part of it. So having this, coming straight on at somebody, might be okay, but you're going to do much better if you give it a little bit of angle. Now, obviously this is a big weak spot. It can be penned from the sides. So just be careful and know that, you might want to wiggle this tank a little bit when you're in a confrontation where you're going head to head, so that it's harder for them to hit that little spot. If you keep moving back and forth, they're going to have a harder time. But the best practice really is to keep this part underground and just have your turret exposed. It's got pretty decent gun depression. It's not anything to write home about, but it's not bad. And that brings us to our next point. Another area that is really bad on this tank, aside from the mobility, is the gun. The gun is just awful. Okay, 15.75 rate of fire. So you're looking at about a 3.5, 4 second reload. That's not too bad. It's not as fast as the Churchill, but it is as fast as the KV-220. And it's also as fast as the, let's take a look here. You know, I don't know what the Excelsior is. Because I don't have it. But anyway, it's kind of in the middle. However, look at the penetration. 92. It's just 3 better than the Matilda 4 medium tank. And it's in a tank that it's not, well, actually, it plays a lot like the Matilda. But it does more damage than the Matilda. Terrible accuracy. And I will say this tank, the bullets go all over the place. This is one American tank where accuracy is not good. It's a bad gun. I'm sorry. It's not as bad as some of the guns that are out there, but it's bad. It's not a good gun. And so that is probably the weakest point of this tank is really the mobility would be second, but the number one weak spot is going to be the gun. I mean, you're just going to, whenever you run into another tank that's a heavy, you're really going to have to pick your weak spots because otherwise you're not going to penetrate. And even then you're going to bounce a lot of shots. It's frustrating. However, it's not a horrible tank to drive. And you're going to see here, I'm going to run 2 or 3 battles with it so you can get the flavor. But I like it actually. And it's kind of a funny tank. It's kind of like a squished M4 with a crappy gun. No derp. Though I wonder, hey, maybe you could run the HE. It's probably not worth it. No. 38 pen, 175 damage. That's not worth running HE. But I was going to say maybe you could pretend like it's a derp. That's no good. Okay, so anyway. Anything else I need to tell you? I run mine with the gun rammer, gun laying drive to help it aim faster, and the vents, just to help the crew do better. They're loaded out for as far as their skill sets, they're set up for the T29, so that's not really important for this tank. Obviously, with the premium tanks, you're going to be crew training with them, so the perks are going to go for the tank that they drive, not for the premium tank. Pardon me. But clutch braking definitely helps, and that helps on any heavy tank. Snapshot's going to help, so you can fire while you're moving. I have designated target, which is going to let you see the target for a couple seconds longer. Anyway, those are all T29 perks. Anything else? No, like I said, you can get caught on fire if you get hit in the back. I've done that to other tanks before, as you've seen in some of my videos. And it's an okay credit earner. It's going to earn about the same as any of the other Tier 5 premiums. So you're looking at about 20 to 30,000 credits per battle. Now let's take a look at the service record. And here we go. Not a bad service record for me. No Top Guns in this guy. I average about 1.5 tanks kills per battle. Now, I haven't played it for a while. It's been probably a month since I've played it, so we'll see how it fares. As I improve, each tank I find a little bit easier to drive, except for the 5100 and the FCM 50T, obviously. My stats are working from XVM, so you can see my pretty colors. 54% win rate, though. That's not bad. 472 experience. That's not good, but it's not bad either. It's just kind of a meh tank. It's a good trainer. So, all right, so let's go ahead and take this bad boy into battle. Hey, Florb's on. We're in trouble. We're going to lose. Florb's a really good player, and he's on the other team. Good to see you. So anyway, we're probably going to lose this battle. That's okay, though. They have a lot of good players, and they're platooned, so they're probably using TeamSpeak. Laugh out loud, too true. Okay, so anyway, all seriousness aside, or all fun aside, here we go to seriousness. You can see already, this is like a full turn right there. That's my full turning speed. It's not good. And we'll see how this goes. One of the things that I wanted to point out is that this tank gets preferential tiering. So mostly the battles are how you see them laid out. You're going to be in the top 3 tanks almost always with this tank. It's even more so than some of the other tier 5 premiums where you get some preferential tiering, but you get in tier 6 battles a lot. This one seems to get a lot of tier 5 battles, and I think that's because the developers knew that it just would not be able to compete at higher tiers. I found myself, look, gonna bounce. He's gonna bounce. Hello. Just gonna back off. I can't really do anything to his turret. Once again, 92 pen, 101 armor. So unless you start flinging gold, there's gonna be no penetration. However, the DW, I can't penetrate him either. Reload for me is 3.21 seconds. That's not so bad. Oh no, an LTP. There's Florb's going to get me though. He's up at the top of the hill. Uh-oh. M37. Uh-oh. Yeah, Florb's up there at the top of the hill. SU-120... SU-76? He shouldn't be able to penetrate me at all. That stupid artillery, though. Oh, there's Florb. Oh boy. I'll try to stay under the radar with him. Come on. Yeah. I'm going to get permatracked here. It's a good thing. It seems like my loading time is longer than his reload for me, but I got to get out of here. Ah, dang it. They blew my frickin' ammo racked. Z, help. Yeah, look at this. I mean, our team is already... What is this 3001 doing? Thanks for nothing, idiot. Yeah, and of course he's going to be... he's going to be running the derp. Yeah. Gee, thanks. Like getting derped from Artie isn't bad enough. So yeah, you can't do much against the M4, honestly. If I was in a better position where I actually had some support and somebody was actually doing something about the artillery that was clobbering me, it's wow, our team's actually doing okay though, considering we're gonna still lose. Florb is full health. He's got 3 kills already. But yeah, HE, and you're low health, you're not going to be able to stop the M4. He's going to go right through you. And so, as we saw there, really, artillery was the only thing that could penetrate me, and then the M4, which I still need to do a review of the M4. It's one of the best tier 5s in the game. It really is a ridiculously stupid, fun tank. And it does damage no matter what. So even if you only do low damage, you're still going to do... some pretty serious damage to the enemy team. So here we go. There we have the camping VK3001H that did nothing to help anybody. And now he's going to get clobbered because he sat at the base. The M4 Florb is going to be coming down on the other side here because he's smart. And we lose. But it's not a surprise. I said I couldn't have predicted this outcome if I didn't have XVM. LOL. So anyway, so the cookie crumbles, and so did we. But it was good to see Florb. So here we are. It's a couple seconds to go before my tank comes back from battle. And how many of you want to guess who the top scorer was on my team? After watching me do absolutely nothing, how much do you want to bet that I'm the top scorer on the team? I can almost guarantee you. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Now, should I have been the top scorer? Heck yeah, I was in the top 3 tanks. But I just, come on, guys. I want somebody to be a better scorer than me so that we win. Crusader, look at, he did pretty good, actually. 770 damage for, what is that, a scout tank? So that's pretty good. But the rest of our team was just horrible. I mean, look at the, this is not a name and shame, but anyway. Okay, next. Okay, so let's run another battle, and I'll probably do 2 more, but it gives you kind of an idea what goes on with this tank. So we did okay. Like I said, the M4, the M37, I mean, really, I didn't get any damage from anybody else, but the artillery will eat you up. It might even be a good idea to run a spall liner on this tank. I may end up switching out, but I don't seem to get picked up with arty too often. That was kind of a rare instance where the M37 had eyes for me, so off we go. Okay, here we go, and another classic tiering situation here where I am in the top 3 or 4 tanks, and that is, like I said, very typical for this tank. Now you'll notice today the KV220 was on sale again, less than 2 weeks after they had it on sale exclusively for those of you who wanted it last week. I'm kind of mad about that because I just bought it, and then now they're having it on sale again like a week later. Like, come on, guys. Give us a little exclusivity. Though you can only wait a week and a half before you re-released it. But anyway, I'm not seeing too many of them out. So I didn't see one in the last battle, didn't see one in this battle, and really haven't seen very many all day. So I think I'm going to go up the hill. I hate to do the hill, but it seems like this is probably, especially because, the DW is kind of a small tank, but where did our other heavies go? They all coming this way? Well, yeah, maybe, maybe I will go. It's hard to decide. No artillery. No death from above. Okay, so once again, peek just a little bit out. We should be able to hit this guy. He's going to see death about to hit him. And these guys really won't be able to do any damage to my turret, so yeah, see. Boink. This guy, nope. Somebody did. Oh, he's big. Let's see where he hit me. Yeah, right through my little somewhat angled armor. What do we have going on the other side? T14. Okay, they got a lot of heavies over there. We're kind of bunched up here. Yeah, he needs help. Come on. Okay, here's where you can see. Turn ratio is a little slow. I'm going to try to help this poor VK out. He's getting overrun. Oh, this poor guy. Now, he's got some easy tanks to kill, but the Electo probably can penetrate him. The Electo's got that little gun that the Electo carries is actually a pretty decent whip gun. It's a fast-firing little thing. So anyway, I'm out. I'm pretty exposed here. Yeah, needless to say, I'm not penetrating him. Yeah, and he can just tear me apart. So, dang it, freaking Electo, I'm sure. And they're gonna keep me permatracked. Oh, it's a war of attrition. Whoever's got... Oh, good job. So I was able to help this side. I can't get him. Poor VK. All right, we got a DW2 infiltrating. Stop him! Oh, the M7. There's enough tanks over there, I think, to help. I'm going to try to get this Electo here. I feel good. I was able to help that VK that was getting overrun, and yep. And so now it looks like I need to rescue the other side. Oh boy. Though, oh, not all at once, man. No kills. No, I got one kill. I got that Electo. So the PZ is hiding up on the hill. This is probably a bad idea to try to approach him. I'm really kind of slow. And remember what I told you? Not a good idea to be in open spaces. The KV-1 just romped our poor B1. This is a French tank. Let's see if I can... I'm probably not going to be able to penetrate this guy. Keep the body down. Keep the body down. All right, we're going to go to gold. I hate doing this. I hate using gold ammo for stuff like this, but... yeah, it's expensive to kill that guy, but... it needed to be done. Yeah, bouncing off of a tier 4 tank destroyer, you know your gun sucks. I don't care about what part of him you hit. You just know the gun sucks when it bounces. Come on, reload. Come on, reload. Come on. Outgun him. Yeah. All right. Now we're talking. Now we're talking turkey. This tank is... yeah, so see... once again, you know, obviously the Panzer IV is going to pretty much penetrate any tank it runs against on its tier because it's just ridiculously overpowered in the gun. Same with, you know, the Martyr 38T. They're all just ridiculous. The Nashorn, that whole line of tanks is just extremely way too overpowered. Now they are glass, but the gun is just ridiculous. It makes people that bought heavy tanks, premium or non-premium, anyway, that was a good game. It makes people who spent money on premium tanks and people that actually, you know, silver even, just the regular old silver tanks, it makes it not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, you get a tank that can penetrate any tank that's on the board, and it's kind of aggravating. But they do have their weakness, and like you see, I beat him there, even though he did get a real good hit on me. I was able to kill him. Dead. Yeah. Not a surprise. Decent damage, especially for the crappy gun. Now, I did gold kill that last KV, just because he's coming right at me. He's got his front to me. It's going to be really hard to penetrate his weak spots, and I didn't want to die. So I loaded gold and killed him. But in general, I try not to, as you've seen in all of my games that you've watched, I try not to load gold rounds. But I do have them just in case of a situation like that where you've got to use it. So, and I could have got some guys say, oh, you could get away with it. Well, sure, I'm sure I could have, but it just made it easier. I just shot them, boom, right through. Because the pen value with the gold actually isn't bad. It's 127 average. That's much better. At tier 5, that's fine. So let's do one more battle. And oh, you can see here, once again, I'm non-premium. So I grossed, I'm sorry, I netted 26,000 credits for that battle. I made 32, but oh, and I got a steel wall. No surprise. So let's go ahead and do one more battle, and we'll move on to the next tank. Survey says we're on this board again, and we're probably going to lose. I just say that because their heavy tanks are all driven by, well, their T14 is not that great, but their Churchill 3 is a 57% player. I don't know. It's pretty close. It's a pretty good matchup here. I mean, our team has pretty much all average players at the top, and they have 2 really good and 2 really bad. However, the premiums are driving the 2 really good tanks. So, I'm sorry, did I say that right? No. The good drivers are driving the 2 premium tanks. That's what I meant to say. Look at this. Bonk. Great. Nice job there, bucko. Press drive. Press drive. It's time to go. Look at this. Yeah, he's defending that. And this is why we lose. Oh, stuff like that. Dang it. All right, so we are cruising along. Oh, man. I think we're going to lose that top half, but if we could just push here. Oh, yeah. Big mistake on your part. But you see how fast he get... Oh, dang it. Yeah, you can see the gun is, you know, now it is fairly accurate now that since they've done that patch. Ugh, I'm getting hit by somebody I can't see. I unfortunately team killed our. Yeah, I got to get out of here. I'm in a really. Well, yeah, it's pretty much over. Both artilleries. Yep. And a team kill. Man, that was just an awful game. You win some, and then you really screw some up. That was just all the way bad. He tracked me in the wrong spot, couldn't get moved out, got hit by both of their artillery and their T14, and I was in the low spot with no cover. Just not good. And I killed my own guy. All right, well, back to the garage. So I'm stuck now because I died so early in the battle that I can't run my other tank. My crew's in there. So we'll move on to the IS. But you know, the T14 at 750 gold, that's not a bad deal. It's not a great tank. It's not going to be a game changer always, but it does get good, easy tiering. And you saw even in that third battle, I was still in the top. So if you like to be in the top position as far as your MM goes, well, it's a good place to start. And as long as you're a better driver than I am and don't end up killing your teammates, you might do well with this. But actually, you know, you saw it's a pretty average tank, and it's a contender. However, the artillery really is not your friend. And as you saw there, I just got ripped to shreds because I got tracked in a bad place. And once again, not taking my own advice. And what was my own advice? Don't go out into open spaces with this tank. If you get out of the terrain, you're in big trouble. And that's exactly what happened. I got out, and I got killed. So, that moving right along. We have the Tier 7 Russian heavy tank, the IS. And there are other options here. If we look at the tech tree. Now, I went to the IS through a weird way. I went... from the KV-13 to the IS. And then later in life, I got the KV, but I still haven't unlocked any of these tanks. I got disgusted with this, and I kind of gave up. I'll probably someday buy it back and finish up with it, but I really didn't like the KV-1. I tried to like it, and it's funny because I love the KV-220. And they're very similar, but didn't like it. What can you do? Okay, so this... But the tier 6s that go, I'm sorry, the tier 7s that go along with this, you could either get the KV3 or the KV3. So the line kind of drops back down again to just 2 heavies available. You have 3 at tier 6. But then it goes back to just the 2 tanks here. So you got the KV3 and the IS. Somebody who likes a slow, heavy, well-armored tank is going to like the KV3. But to be honest with you, you never see them anymore. I mean, you rarely ever see them. Okay, here's we go. Let's look at the details real quick from that other battle. Oh. And this just shows you how bad our team was. even with you know the even with the how bad I killed that guy, I still was in the top 4. Okay, so back to the IS. The IS is, for all intents and purposes, the next step from the KV-1S. Better gun, faster moving, better armored. It is a good tank, but it definitely does not have great armor. There's nothing strong about it anywhere. It's good all the way around. So average armor, average gun, average speed. It's not going to brawl well on a one-on-one fight. You are going to get torn to pieces pretty much. However, it's a good flanker, and it plays a lot like a medium tank. Really, the gun, to me, a lot of guys love this tank for the gun, and I think the same is for the Chinese, but the gun is really somewhat sucky because look at that. While it has super high alpha at 390, at tier 7, and you're facing tier 8s and 9s, you only have 175 pen. Compared to, let's say, the French AMX 1945, that's got 212 pen. The T14 has 198 pen. So this one, I say it's a bounceaholic, and it's always been ever since I've had. And this was my first tier 7 heavy tank. I've had it for over a year and a half. It bounces a lot of shots. It's frustrating. You have to aim for weak spots, but even then, it bounces. So just get used to that. But other than that, it leads to the IS-3. That's a good point. And obviously, I've kept it. I've had it for many, many, many battles. And it's a favorite tank. It just, you have to get used to it. It does not play as a toe-to-toe heavy. It's going to be a tank that's going to be a better flanker. It's going to be a quickly rush around and hit somebody from behind, though it can go toe-to-toe a bit. But if you're in a tier 7 match, you're going to fare a lot better than you will in a tier 8 match. So it's a 4-man crew, which is different from the 5-man crews that go into the KV line. And anything else I need to tell you? Let's start looking at specs. So once again, let's look at the gun. It is this is the top gun, 175 pen, 399, 4 rounds a minute. I'm sorry, 4 rounds per minute. So you're waiting, I think it's like 13 to 14 seconds. In actuality, it would be 15 seconds. So yeah, I guess it'd have to be more than that if it's 14.8, or 4.8. I guess it's about fires every 15 seconds. So you have to fire and hide and wait and wait and wait and then fire again. Poor accuracy means you're going to be needing to get closer. Long aim time, 3.4 seconds. That's almost as bad as the AMX 5100 with its autoloader. It's bad. But a good crew with snapshot can make up for that. And I oftentimes hit things. I've got smooth ride and I've also got snapshot. And I find sometimes I hit things on the move that I'm incredulous that I actually hit them. Now I run the toolkit for repairs. And I also have the gun rammer and the gun laying drive. And my crew is now going to be training. The next perk they're all going to be training on is going to be the repairs. But I only did repairs on one to start with. I just sneezed. Achoo. Weak spots. Yeah, pretty much all over. I mean, you can get penned here. This bounces nicely. You're going to get penned here. Bullets do go through the side of your turret. I mean, pretty much the whole tank is sort of weak. It's not the beefy monster armor that you find on some of the KVs. So let's look. The hull armor is 120 on the front. It's pretty good. 90 on the sides. That's same as the KV-1S. And then 60 on the back. Turret is 100 on the front. 90. So pretty much any tier 7 heavy tank can penetrate you from the front is all that really means, because most of them have over 100 penetration. Most of the mediums have over 100 penetration at tier 7. So really anybody can ding you. Now, you got a lot of angles going on here, so you will bounce some shots, but it's pretty easy to get penetrated with this tank. So just be ready for that. Mobility. It's got a 28 on the turret traverse, but a 35 on the actual tank traverse. So it's a pretty spry little tank as far as turning goes. 34 mile an hour speed limit. That's not bad for a heavy, but it does reach that speed limit pretty easily. It's got a 700 horsepower engine. So it pushes you right up there. And then anything else I need to tell you? I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and run this tank. Oh, let's look at the service record. Okay. Okay, so here's the IS. 384 battles, 51% win rate. Yeah. Average 477. But I will say this. I haven't played this a lot lately. I played it a lot more early on when I was a noob player, a beginner. So I'm not. My stats aren't going to be that good in this tank because I spent a lot of time sucking in this tank. As I've gotten to be a better tanker, I'm sure if I played this more, the stats would start to go up. But I haven't played it. I've played it maybe 10 or 15 times in the last year, even. So it's pretty much sat in my garage. I don't run it too much anymore. But occasionally when my friend takes out his IS2, I'll grab this tank and take it out so that it's a good matchup. So, all right, let's go to battle. Screwed. Yeah, I really got skunked on this one. Tier 9. Not a lot of tier 9s, but enough. In the T29, it wouldn't be a big deal. In this tank, it's a little bit of a deal. Let's just see how we do. It's not going to be good. Maybe. We'll see. I've had a couple battles where I actually killed an IS-8 in my IS one time. So anything is possible. Pardon me. I just want to live. Oh, look, the KV3 looks like he's outpacing me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is faster. Super poising. Scout push in the middle. Our T44 is rushed off way ahead. T54 is closing in. No, I guess I'm outpacing the T54 or the KV3 now. I'm going to be getting that soon, hopefully. I don't know how soon, but I'm on my way. Though I haven't played my mediums for a while. Good, the IS-8 went the other way. Hopefully I won't run into anything but the T30. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah, right through me. Oh, yeah. There's the T30. Oh, yep. Well, that was my own dang fault. I was sticking out too far. But, yeah, it was great. Like battles like that, don't you? Okay, back to the garage. Okay, moving right along. I'm not even going to bother. We'll run that tank again once it comes back. I'm not going to sit here for 15 minutes waiting for that battle to end since it was just starting. I do want to get one decent battle in there. But you saw the IS-8 and me as an ineffective driver putting it right in the middle of where I shouldn't have. I should have cornered in a little better before I took a shot. But, honestly, I don't know if I would have had much more success even if I had gone the correct way because there were just so many tanks there that they all, you saw how fast I got killed. Anyway, I don't know. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's all hindsight's 20/20, right? So, the T29. This, I feel like, is a much better tank at Tier 7 than the IS as a heavy tank. It's got a really, really strong turret. The armor is just ridiculous on the front of the turret at 279. In fact, the back of the turret at 102 has more armor than the front of the IS turret. So and on the sides it's 127. You can still pen it, but it's rounded too, so it makes it hard. So this thing has a really hard head. And that's the strength of this tank. And the gun, even though the alpha's not as high, it's got decent alpha. Where this tank is weak is the whole bottom. And it's even not that bad. The frontal armor is 102, so we're slightly better than some of the tier 6, 7 tanks, but it's not great. Very soft on the sides at 76 and completely penetrable by everything that you face on the rear. So the trick with this tank, along with any of the American tanks, once again, is to keep it buried. Use the terrain, only expose the top of your turret, and try to only expose the front of your turret. If you do get in a situation where you have to take the tank out and make it visible, try to keep it angled, because obviously angling it a hair is going to make the bullets fly off it. If you're shooting, it's going to be a lot harder to penetrate this than it is this or this. So if you have this angle in there, oh, ba-ching, ba-ching. The gun. Let's look at the gun. Faster rate of fire than the IS. No, she's back. Oh, they got defeated that fast. Wow, that was fast. Like 4 minutes. Okay. The gun. 198 penetration. Once again, it's not the best in its class. That would go to the 212 penetration of the AMX M4 1945 of the French. 320 damage per shot. That's not bad. Now, once again, the IS is higher at 390. The AMX is lower at 280, I think it is. Let's look. Hang on. 240. So, yeah, slower or higher damage, slower rate of fire. Decent accuracy at .042. Not great, but it's good. 0.23 aiming time. Fast aimer. That makes a big difference. And it has the ability to mount the vertical stabilizer, which means that when you move the turret and you lock in on a target, you're going to get aim a lot faster than you normally would. So it's basically like a gun laying drive, but it does it in motion. So it's great. Helps a lot. And so I also use the spall liner on this and the gun rammer. I'm sure there's other things I could use, but you've seen tonight how the artillery ripped apart my T14. They also like this tank because it's pretty slow moving. Now, ironically, this tank has a higher speed limit at 35 than the IS, but it just feels slower, and I think partly that's because the traverse is 25 and the turret traverse is 26. So it's a very slow turning tank. Let's see what else. You got a longer view range. Of course, with the second turret, you get a much longer view range. Good signal range. This is a really great tank. I would say this is probably one of my favorites at Tier 7. The AMX is close. This one actually is a little easier to play, obviously, because as long as you keep the hull down, you're going to tear things apart, and they're not going to be able to penetrate you, whereas the French tank is a big soft punching bag. So, yeah, let's go take this bad boy for a spin, and it should be fun. Here we go. Hopefully I won't get blown up in a Tier 9 battle again. Okay, so top tier game. Yay. Unless we really screw this up, we should win this. I'm going to say it's pretty close, but we have a lot of better players. Of course, yeah, it's all SU 152s on the other team, T25 ATs, all of which are going to just tear this tank to shreds, unfortunately, especially the SU 152s with those derp guns. It's going to be a rough game for me. We'll see. Thankfully, we have just as many as they do. And we even have an SU-122, which I feel is a better tank. The downside is, of course, we need to kind of go city, and the city's not a great place for this tank. It really needs that hull protection. So, all right, T-150, come on. Oh, with the stock turret. Look, he's going to... Boy, that looks like a KV-220 with that turret. Look at that. I mean, that is the KV-220 right there. I mean, that's exactly it. Like I really had to say that, but I couldn't resist. Okay. Man. Ugh. This sucks. Ugh. Yeah. Shag Panther. He's in a world of hurt. He's got a lot of big tanks coming after him. Where's his buddies? Yeah, I don't want to expose myself. It's just it's hard to know which way to go. Oh, he missed. He didn't. What sucks is I'm going to have to knock that wall down. Oh, I hit the car. Oh, what a waste. Yeah. Oh, well. Let's see what I can do about these guys. Nah, I'm going to get stuck in that. This is all real tight in here. Sometimes you get stuck, and I don't want to do that. But I guess I could go this way. Now I'm proximity lighting them up. No artillery in this match. Wow. I'm just going to make him keep second guessing himself. KV-1S running away. Now, once again, keep the hull protected, so I'm just going to let him see a little bit of my tank. He will not be able to penetrate my head. And, oh, are you kidding me? 90 millimeters of armor just bounced a 220 penetration shot. Or, I'm sorry, 190 penetration shot. That's ridiculous. And does anybody want to push across this field? No. I'm going to go around the long way. We got time. I love the, it's so funny because, they put all these, swear word filters on, but there's just always ways to say bad things. And somebody's always got to pull out the F-bomb. Oh, well, I guess since the scouts aren't doing it, I'm going to have to do it. Man, I wish this hill was tilted in my favor, but it just isn't. I'm going to go down, get in that river, and get down by the bridge and hopefully get some protection. And hopefully they won't be on the other side here. Hopefully they'll just be on the left, but that's wishful thinking. Oh, Nashorn. Man. It's come to this. This is what happens. This is what happens when we have a 95% TD population. Where to go? I mean, I don't even know what to do at this point. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to expose my tank, but the hard part, and see, they're up there because the Nashorn shot the scout from that side. Oh. Yeah, they know I'm here. Look at that. Oh, this is bad. I need to get undercover. The longest battle in boring history. We have a team killer on our side. That's great. Oh. Well, the Yep. Yep. Get down. Get down. See, now there's the thing, so keep the hull down. So now we know that most of their SU-152s are over there. And I'm going to start backing up this way. There's a Type 58 over here somewhere. And we got to keep this thing going, but... Oh, man. This is bad. This is really bad. Oh, and I can't get a hit on him. I can't believe I missed that shot. What a bunch of horse puggy. You see how that thing totally went down? I guess that's probably realistic, but... Okay. So these TDs are up there. There's a 152 right there. The M6s are doing really well. Roll ball. Somebody little is hitting me hard. Yep. Okay. Now we're talking turkey. These poor M6s, though, man, they're... What do we got left? Well, it was a risk shot. I knew I probably wasn't going to hit that, but it was worth taking the risk. Slow and steady gets the job done. Take your time. Now, you saw how long we waited, but it had gave our team time to think and form up. And look at that. Oh, man, these guys, those M6 drivers are incredible. Oh, that's too bad. See this guy, he doesn't even know I'm here. Oh, now he's turning towards me. Boom. Wow. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. That was a good battle. Long enough that I had to restart Bandicam there. But held it together. And that is what the T-29 is capable of doing. As long as you keep the body down, it is really a good stalwart tank, and you can kind of push. I mean, you saw I was all by myself in the middle there. Took some hits, but also took a lot of bounces, and that's where that turret comes in. It's great. It's a really good turret. I was the top tank. I should be the top scorer. Though in damage, it came pretty close. That SU-122, of course, that tank is just amazing. So there's that. And finally, let's do one more IS battle, and then y'all can go home. So here we go. I don't mind this battle layout, but I hate being on this side. I hate it. think, man, let's see what the other guys do. But I think I'm going to go down the back road here. I looks like I have the Tiger with me, so that's good. All the rest of these noobs can rush the T29 too. Maybe this is too many. Well, we'll see. I'm going to cut right across the middle. No RD again. That's like 4 battles in a row with no artillery. Did I swear in German? I think I did. I'm going to cut that out. This Stuart, look, he's trying to be sneaky. Easier for them to hit him straight on than it is for me to hit him going from the side. But I'm probably spotted by now, so I'm going to sit down here in this little valley for a minute. Now here's the thing. I don't have the big turret. Oh, boy. Dang it. Hopefully our guys will get there fast enough. We're going to have to just keep an eye on the situation. And this is very dangerous right here, what I'm doing. Cresting the hill. Exposing myself. But there's a nice little valley here. Dang it. It looks like none of them went this way. We may have to be making a rush across here in a second. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. No gun depression. Did I tell you that about the IS? Yeah, none. There is no gun depression on the IS. It is not existent. It's just like a lot of the Russian tanks seem to be like that, but this one is really bad. It just does not have any. It's depressing. Yeah, I lit them up for them, and none of those guys took shots. Skunked. What is this dude doing? Oh, come on, guys. Yeah, critical hit. Welcome to the IS gun. Help. Goodbye. This dude is done for. Let's see, he's got that 100mm. And it's a pretty good gun, actually. I used to run it on my on the T14. It took like 15 seconds to reload, but it was pretty cool. But look how much damage he did to me. I mean, he really tore me apart. But it's good. We got rid of their top team guys. Ah, inaccuracy of the Russian guns. There's a VK over here. He's probably going to kill me, that VK. But we need to get this done with because they're going to start. Well, actually, we're doing pretty good over there, too. Does he not know I'm here? Oh, dang it. T29. Oh. Shoot. Well, we did pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a great game, but it was an okay game. Yeah, so that just gives you an idea of what the IS is. I mean, really, it likes rocks. It likes to be hidden. Yeah, he's going to kill, that T29 is going to kill Tiger 1, 2 here. Good camo on that crew, whatever he's doing. He's got a good victory. Yeah, not bad. Let's look at the team score. Okay, so we did. I was the top scorer. I should have been. I was the top tank again. I didn't do the most damage, but I did a lot of spotting, so I kind of played a little scouty scout there. Look, their team actually on a damage level. Yeah, they didn't get a lot of kills. They did a lot of damage though. This guy, look at that. If we go by damage here. So, and you know, to their credit, their IS had the crappy gun. But you saw, I mean, the gun bounces like crazy. You get used to it, but it is aggravating. Like when you need that clutch shot, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die if the shot doesn't go off. Boink. Blink, blink, Boink. That can be very frustrating. So, but if you're going to get this tank, get used to it. And the same thing for the Chinese IS-2. And the same thing, honestly, for the Su-122-44 or any tank that uses the 122 millimeter D25T. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was ridiculously long again, and it looks like that's just the way things are going to be from now on because we get a lot of tanks for review. And anyway, I hope you find this helpful as you look at buying tanks and look at what's available for sale each week. And so anyway, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye.